Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's TPM5 here, back again with another NBA video. In today's video, I'll be talking about, Derrick Rose, why, he could be a Hall of Famer. I'll give you guys everything you need to know to make your own choice, and I'll give my verdict and my opinion on it towards the end of the video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, as you guys know, Derrick Rose won the MVP, and he could be the first MVP not to make the Hall of Fame. And just as you guys can see here, just shows how far he's fallen from where his career trajectory was. He's ranked 169th in the Basketball References projection for the Hall of Fame, with a percentage of making it just below 12. Now, he was the first overall pick in the 2008 NBA draft out of Memphis. He had a lot of success there, which I'll touch on in a second. But from 1947 to 1987, there were 40 first overall picks, and 30 of them went on to make the Hall of Fame, which gives you a percentage of roughly 32.5, also known as like 1 out of 3 players making the Hall of Fame from that position. And he had a lot of accolades throughout his time in high school and college. And obviously, as you guys know, with the Basketball Hall of Fame, it's not just the NBA Hall of Fame, so it's not the hardest thing to get into, and I guess the sum of your basketball achievements are taken into account. So that's why you have those guys that played overseas like Dino Raja in the Hall of Fame, whereas they're not the most known player to everyone, but they've had an impact, their whole impact on the game. And I think one thing that can't be argued is Derrick Rose's impact on the game. He's second in popularity behind MJ in Chicago, and I think that's quite something that's quite obvious. He's loved there, and it was such a good story as well, seeing him come to a team that hadn't really had much success following Michael Jordan. Now, in terms of his high school and college achievements, I'm just going to touch on them quickly. He won in high school, and he led Memphis to the championship game in his one-and-done year, and he also helped the US get 2 gold medals in 2010 and also in 2014. In the FIBA World Championships. Now, just a quick break, guys. I make NBA content 2 to 3 times a week. I'm on my way to 700 subs, and I'd heavily appreciate if you guys join me on my journey, and also like the video, and also comment if you think Derrick Rose is going to make the Hall of Fame, because I guess it's a genuine argument, and there are 2 ways that you can look at it. So some people view the Hall of Fame as somewhere which should be reserved for players that have longevity, guys like currently in the league like Durant, James, Curry. But I guess the NBA Hall of Fame isn't that, and that's where I do think there is some hope for Derrick Rose, because there are guys who have made the Hall of Fame that don't have a resume as top heavy as his, and also some overall are very comparable to him, and we'll touch on them later on in the video. But just going to quickly recap his career. In 2008-9, he became the Rookie of the Year, averaging 17 points and 6.3 assists. Following that, in 2009-10, he made his first All-Star appearance and averaged 26.8 points and 7.2 assists in the playoffs. In 2010-11, he won his first MVP, and he was the youngest ever MVP, making Wes Unseld the second youngest to win. And they lost in the playoffs. However, Rose would average 27.1 points, and he was, very good for them. Now, in 2011-12, he was signed to a 5-year contract extension worth $94.8 million by the Bulls, dubbed the Derrick Rose rule by the, NBA CBA, the collective bargaining agreement. He was an all-star starter for the second consecutive year, and during game 1 of the playoffs, as you guys know, his career would almost change forever, going down against Philadelphia when the game was done, and he was given a recovery period of 8 to 12 months. He would miss the whole of the 2012-13 season, making a much anticipated return in the 2013-14 season. He would play until November 22nd, when he went down again with his right knee against the Portland Trailblazers, and it was found that that injury was a torn meniscus, and he underwent surgery on the torn meniscus in his right knee. In 2014-15, Derrick Rose would return to the playoffs despite suffering multiple injuries during the regular season. On April 18th of 2015, he would play in his first playoff game since the fateful night of 2012, the game where he tore his left ACL. Derrick Rose would finish the game with 23 points against the Bucks, and he averaged 21.5 points per game in that series. And this was also the playoffs where he hit that bank shot against the Cleveland Cavaliers. However, the Cavs would rally to win multiple games in a row to close the series out, In 2015-16, Rose had his final year with the Chicago Bulls, having a season-best game of 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists in a 115-110 loss to the Denver Nuggets. Now, in 2016-17, he was traded to the Bulls, and he tore his meniscus in his left knee, necessitating a fourth round of knee surgery for him. In 2017, he signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers, however was traded at the deadline and ended up being waived. A month later, he was picked up by the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Minnesota Timberwolves signed him to a minimum for the 2018-19 season. And then he hit 50 points in a game, which was an emotional moment for him and also the city of Chicago. On July 7th, Rose would sign with the Pistons, where he, really painted himself as that six-man type of guy, where he is with the Knicks now, just receiving a 3 years, $43 million extension with the team. During his 3-year peak of his career, he averaged 22.7 points, 7.1 assists, and 3.8 rebounds, contributing to 25.1 win shares. Now, he's going to be, it's going to be very tough for him to make the Hall of Fame. We have to give him a lot of credit as well, because he's in a position now where he's a sixth man or one of the best reserves coming off the bench, and that's somewhere where a lot of guys would have worked to, and we have to give him credit, because even without the injuries, that's something that's hell of a hard thing to do for anyone to do, let alone someone like him that's had the amount of setbacks. And especially back in 2018, he could have given it all away. Now, his accolades include an MVP in 2011, All-Star selections 3 years consecutive in 2010 to 2012, All-NBA First Team honors in 2011, All-Rookie First Team and Rookie of the Year in 2009. He won the Skills Challenge, which I'll just chuck in there as well. He was, an member of an All-Final Four team, and he was also, very successful throughout his time in high school as well. Now, two guys in the Hall of Fame that aren't as, successful as Derrick Rose include Calvin Murphy, who was only an All-Star once and was in the All-NBA, rookie team in 1971. However, besides that, he only really has college achievements that rival Derrick Rose. And then Dave Bing was an All-Star 7 times and was an All-Star Game MVP, making the All-NBA First Team twice. However, besides that, he still isn't exactly, comprehensively better than Derrick Rose. Obviously, his career averages will be better than Derrick Rose, though. Now, in my opinion, I think Derrick Rose can make the Hall of Fame. He isn't going to be first ballot, and it's going to take him a, sad number of years to actually make it. But in my opinion, I think he can make it. Comment what you guys think as well, because it's a very, two-way argument. Because, I'd like to hear other people's perspectives too. Now, that's at the end of the video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.